Good morning, good afternoon, and of course, good evening, traders from across the globe. Welcome to my 2,500 or 25th hundred video in regards to short-term trading and, of course, presented by Short-Term Trading Live with Oscar. Wow, 2,500 videos deep. You know, there's about 2,500 more in the can, but these are the ones that are on YouTube. So we've done lots of videos. And this video is coming at you on a Wednesday night for trading, Wednesday night through Thursday, December 8th, 2022. Traders, it's not Thursday, is it? All right, yes, Wednesday night through Thursday, just checking. Traders, you can always find me at livewithoscar.com. I want to show you something really cool, so pay attention. We know there's risk in this game. Never, ever, ever trade without stops. Put your stops in first. And it doesn't matter what you're trading. It doesn't matter what vehicle. If your stop is in first, you are much safer in that trade. So, E-mini S&P Daily Bar. For trading on Thursday, the Omni is waving me off. It is waving me off. Now, let's look at something because Omni was bearish on Wednesday and gave us a great trade. We scored very nicely. So, Wednesday night into Thursday, Omni waves me off. And I'm thinking, why? All right, well, the weekly resistance is very, very strong. And that 200 bar moving average, which will light up for you. The weekly resistance is very strong. And we bounced off the 200 bar moving average recently and ran up and hit that again on the weekly and caved. Now that is a familiar picture, right? Look, up here, caves. Up here on the weekly. It takes a week to make each one of these red or green bars. Back down. Caves again when it hits it. Gets there, and the first thing it does now is put in a red bar. All right, so, and Omni is bearish, but it is still waving me off. So I thought, let's go look around and see why. Why is Omni waving me off? And maybe, just maybe, this is why technically. So yes, we've dropped from the 200 bar moving average. Let me grab a little measuring tool here. We've dropped from the 200 bar moving average. We barely got above it and started to head down. All right, and Omni's starting to give us some nice trades on the downside, and suddenly it stops me from getting into a trade tonight. And I said, why? Well, maybe it's this big resistance line right here that catches all of these lows. Maybe that's it. Support, I guess we'll call it. I called it resistance, my bad. Support. Maybe it's this support line. All right, maybe. Or maybe it's something like this. Possible support here. And this is growing into some kind of a strange-looking flag. Some people would call it a megaphone. I don't know. I think it's just some kind of a weird wedge. But you've got something going on there, right? Maybe this is why. And then I thought, well, let's think bigger picture. Maybe this isn't the only reason why. So I started to think bigger picture, and here's what I came up with. Crude oil. Traders, it is no secret that I have been very vocal about crude oil and crude oil being below 77 and what that means. I've said it in many videos. I've proven it in many trades that we've done, and of course I've shown the videos and then we've seen the results, so we know I've got this thing about crude and the area of 77. It basically bottoms the S&P market from time to time, or the stock market. So let's go look at the bigger picture regarding inflation indicators. Here's what I'm getting at. Crude oil has been dropping dramatically lately, just dropping dramatically, right? So look at it. Let me grab another one of those little measuring tools here, a little designing tool. So down we start to go, more, big crack, back down even further. But the important thing about this is I have mentioned way before it ever happened, when crude got above 77 for the first time in a long time, the stock market literally topped out right around the price of 77 in crude. And then I had mentioned if crude gets back below 77, it will matter. Well, crude got back below 77 for the first time since the major highs of 108. Big rally. Now, just to put this in context, look. Massive rally takes place. Massive rally in crude. all the way up to 108. All the way up there to that circle of 108. And then it starts to finally crack. And I started to tell my Omniacs right away, if we could get to the 77 mark or lower, it will start to bottom out the stock market. So we break down and we don't get to 77, we get to about 82, and then we go back up. We go back up. We go back up. Boom, we get down to the 77 area right here on 927, 928 in crude oil. All right, what does that mean? I profess that if it got there, it would mean something like the stock market would start to bottom. So watch this. Look at what happens right here on 927. Exactly the same time the crude oil drops below 77, the price of the Dow Jones Transportation Average bottoms right there. Boom. Okay, so that did mean something. Let's look at the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Look at the date here. The same thing, 927 to 930, this little area right here. That bottomed the stock market. Now, crude is back down below 77. It's trading in the 72s. The bigger picture, let's go back to crude for a moment. The bigger picture is this. Inflation, the biggest indicator that we have that moves inflation and rapidly and dramatically is crude oil. The price of crude, the price of energy makes every other product on this planet expensive, and it makes it expensive for us to go purchase those products. Okay, so if you get the price of crude to go down for the next couple of weeks, like it has been for these last 2-3 weeks, the next set of inflation indicators will be dramatically better in the way of less inflation. And that, I assure you, is going to help the stock market go higher. So that is the bigger picture. That's where I think we're going to go. And remember, when crude, for the first time in a long time, first time crude gets below 77, it absolutely proves my technical theory. Because on 927, 928, it got below 77. And on 927, the Dow Jones Transportation Average bottomed. And so did the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Traders, subscribe to these videos. Make sure that you're aware when they come out. And then put your stops in. And always keep your emotions out of trading. Remember, kids, join me at livewithoscar.com. Once you get in a trade, say this to yourselves over and over again. Are you with me? 1, 2, 3. Stops are in. Emotions are out. Traders, thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great day trading. Remember what I just showed you about crude. And I will see you all at livewithoscar.com.